Hello everybody, my name is Aud and welcome back to the Aud Narrations channel. Today we're reading a story titled, My Friend is Having an Affair with a Married Friend. I'm thinking about telling his wife. As always, if you enjoy these videos and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button, that way you won't miss the latest upload. The post reads, Hi, so my good friend broke up with her partner in the past month. Her married friend was already kind of pushing her to have a sexual relationship before that, but she refused. After the breakup, she started having sexual relations with him, and even continued to sleep with him one time after she got back together with her ex. Now, this guy has a wife, and they're currently undergoing IVF and about to go through embryo transfer. It's their last one. They're also about to move into a new apartment. He's not planning to tell her, but is hoping she doesn't get pregnant so they can break up. It's none of my business, I know, but since learning about IVF and his comments about it, I'm having a really hard time not contacting her on Facebook. I'm really struggling with this morally. As I try to stay out of it, I advise my friend best of my abilities, but if I were the wife, I would really want to know this. Help. Should I stay out of it, or should I let her know? I also don't want my friendship to end. If it somehow became obvious I was the one to let her know, I feel disgusted keeping this secret even though I don't know the guy and his wife. Please help. Edit. I only know the affair partner, my friend. I don't know the married couple even remotely, and I don't follow them on social media, and I've never met them either. The boyfriend and affair partner are not together anymore. Okay. Edit 2. I'm not putting all the blame on him. They're equally responsible, and I find both of their behaviors despicable. I feel sad that people are coming after me for having such a friend. You can't really know someone is capable of such an action until they do it, and people don't exactly volunteer this information. Definitely. Sorry to interrupt the video, but as it turns out, only about 5% of my viewers are actually subscribed. It would really help out the channel if you could hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Right, let's take a look at the comments. Okay, someone's left a comment saying, tell the wife, please, the IVF that she's about to undergo is life-changing, successful or not, and so physically and mentally hard on a woman. She deserves to know what her husband is doing. I'd tell her even if they weren't doing IVF. Then tell your friend that you told her. Then ditch that friend. If others ask why, tell them. Expose all the cheaters. OP writes, I was also thinking about telling her even before the IVF info, and even before their relationship became sexual. He was already going to great lengths to lie to her and was obviously already cheating emotionally. But how would you go about telling her? I've never encountered a situation like this ever in my life, and I'm not sure what the best and most sensitive way to do it would be. Also, why would you tell the friend? Would you ditch her because she's a shitty person? I feel super conflicted about the friendship part. I don't want to lose her and betray her, but I condone this behavior so much. She also feels terrible about it, but feels it's best not to hurt others by the truth. I'm sure the motivation for this is mostly selfish, 100%. Someone replied, saying, your friend will figure it out. It's best to be honest. Frankly, she's a shitty person. She has no integrity. Why would you want someone like that in your life? OP replied, saying, I really don't know. I didn't think she was capable of this. It took her a long time to tell me, so I don't know. Don't you think people deserve some grace if they feel remorse? My biggest issue about the whole situation is the lying and lack of remorse. We're all human and are imperfect, but should own up to our mistakes and be honest if we betray someone. She does feel bad about it, not that it's any excuse for her behavior. It's hard. She's one of my oldest friends, so of course it's not easy. It's been a few days since she told me, and the full extent is only hitting me now. Someone replied saying, keeping it a secret like this will look very bad for you when people found out you knew. At a very minimum, you need to drop this friend until she decides to come clean. Make her understand what a mistake she's made. If she's one of those people who think betraying their partner isn't wrong, how can you trust her as a friend? These kinds of people stab you in the back when things are hard and times are tough. OP replied saying, I mean, I only know the one friend, not the betrayed partner, or the guy who's cheating. I don't think anyone would find out I knew or anything. This is not really about me. We're not in a friendship group or a community. The couple are just strangers to me. I just feel like telling the betrayed partner is the right thing. I think it'd be easier if I knew her. Oh, easily, yeah. I think you're right on the rest. It's not easy though. I've read some posts about infidelity, and it seems hard for people to leave their cheating spouses. This is also really hard since the action was not even harming me in a direct way, but I feel the same about the until she comes clean part. That is the worst part in my opinion. Indeed. Someone else just left a comment saying, tell the wife and do it now. Don't be complicit, and don't warn anyone that you intend to do it. Imagine if you were the one with a cheating spouse. Wouldn't you want to know the truth about this true state of your marriage? Tell her now. OP replied saying, thank you for your input. I would 100% want to know, even if it came from a stranger. But in my culture, the attitude towards infidelity feels sometimes really backwards, as I don't know about him or her, and I feel really shitty getting involved, even though I feel more shitty about being complicit, as you put it. My friend has told me many times that it was just a one-time slip. She has no interest in a relationship, but with him, the slips keep coming. And that's assuming she's told me about everything. I was trying to get her to tell her or get him to confess, but I don't think that's ever going to happen based on some recent info. Would you tell anonymously? She has no idea who I am. I still think it should come from my friend, but I cannot make her do it. I feel terrible about the whole situation. Someone replied saying, if she doesn't know you, essentially, you would be anonymous. If you have any evidence, supply this as well. Otherwise, just send a description of all that you know of their affair. OP replied saying, I have screenshots of him texting he loves her, but there's no number, just the name. It's on WhatsApp. Someone replied saying, contact her and tell her everything. Send the screenshots. She may or may not believe you, but you've done what you can. I think that's fair. Someone else left a comment saying, sorry to hear you're stuck in the middle of this awful situation. And it's not fair to you, to your friends, to put you in this situation. The friend that's trying to have the baby and use his partner's infertility as an excuse to leave while they're cheating is an incredibly terrible person. Not sure how long you've been friends with everyone involved, but for that reason alone, I think it's worth the drama in the friendship group, because the infertile partner could receive a lot of trauma if they're told the relationship is ending for reasons outside of their control, and that's a lie hiding their partner's indiscretions. OP replied saying, thank you for your comment. I'm only friends with the woman that he's cheating with. I don't know him, saw him once in passing, and don't want to know him. The story is super long and complex, and I really don't want to ever know him. It makes me sick. I judge my friend for her part too. I agree with your comment about possible trauma from thinking he's leaving her because of the infertility, and that made me furious. Nevertheless, I think the alternative of her having this baby with him not knowing any of this is worse, even if the affair is over. I don't really know. I think she should know. I just don't know how to go about doing this. Indeed. Someone else left a comment saying, she needs to know, even if you do it anonymously, going through IVF is a very difficult process, and you have to go through so much first to get the eggs, and then your body ready for the transfer with hormones, so she shouldn't be putting herself through that for him. She also runs the risk of getting pregnant with a baby with a man who doesn't want to be with her. If she wants to go ahead and try because she wants the baby, that's one for her, but she deserves to know the truth. I would also distance myself from the friend because although he was trying to get her to sleep with him, she decided to go ahead and sleep with a married man, knowing his situation and the fact that his wife was trying to conceive using IVF. The fact that she did that and then cheated on her spouse with him after getting back together shows that she's not a good person. I know you want to keep this friendship, but do you really want this woman hanging around your spouse or potential partners? That is a real kicker. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. If she's willing to sleep with a married person, she'll be willing to sleep with your married person. OP replied saying, they already went through the whole process. I might have put it wrong, I'm not familiar with the terms and process myself. They went through the egg retrieval and 3 transfers already, but should now be getting ready for the last one. They're getting pregnant with a man who doesn't want to be with her to so much trouble. Getting pregnant is so scary to me. She didn't know about the IVF until now. They recently ended the affair. That said, even though they're not physically cheating right now, to me they're still cheating emotionally, as they spend a lot of time together. She just sees him as a good friend. I'm also struggling with the friendship aspect of it all. I think I need more time to think about it. She's going through some stuff and I don't want to abandon her totally. She knows how I feel about the situation. I don't sugarcoat it. Do you think she's just a bad person? Could she just be damaged and behaving badly? I don't want to justify her behavior, but it's hard for me. Additional info is her dad cheated on her mum throughout her childhood, and she knew. I think there might be some trauma. I would just expect a reversed reaction, not really doing the same as her dad. So someone else replied, saying, she knows what she's putting his wife through because her mother went through it. I think it makes it even worse that she's seen what the wife goes through, but still decides to do that, especially considering she's not even serious about him or has feelings of love for the guy. I'm sure she has some childhood trauma from what her father did, but that isn't an excuse to put that trauma on another woman who hasn't done anything wrong apart from marry a cheating idiot. It also seems like you said the affair isn't over, and although it's not physical at the moment, I'm not sure how long they'll not act on it, since it's taboo and exciting. And yeah, she has to go on medication for her to have the transfer, so it isn't easy. She also deserves to know before making such a life-changing decision which will affect her whole life. I'm not saying your friend is a bad person, I don't know her enough to say that, but I will say that she's making bad decisions. I'm sure she would never want her mother to know what she's done, and that she is the other woman in someone else's marriage. And the husband does hold a lot of blame here, but she's actively had an affair with a married man. I think she needs to get some individual counselling so she can deal with any childhood trauma rather than putting the trauma onto other people, as there is no excuse for her actions. Stay friends with her if you feel she needs your support, but just be honest with her about how much you feel about her actions. You may find that she'll lose a fair few friends once the truth comes out. The truth always comes out, eventually. OP replied saying, I agree with all your points, but the truth coming out part. I don't live in the US and our society is much more private and less community-based. I don't think any of her friends and family know the guy. She'll probably not have to deal with any judgments of her friends and family. We also live in a big city, and the kind where you don't know your neighbours. I just can't imagine how it would reach other people. She knows if she doesn't tell anyone. It's of course a different story for the guy. I'll definitely talk to her and try and support her. She has to make some changes and go to individual counselling. I can't do mental gymnastics around my values for her. Thanks for sharing your opinion. Right, tricky one. Oof. So, what do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoy these videos and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you won't miss the latest upload. Alrighty, we'll have to finish that for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.